Hey, good morning. Welcome to Erie Shores Prepping. Boy, every day you just wake up and say, hey, what's Peppermint Patty have to say about the latest Commander-in-Chief's blunder and how she can possibly spin it into something positive? Well, we discovered that they were going to provide crack pipes to addicts in underserved communities, which means minority communities, to keep them further addicted, and spin it like they were going to help. Like that's going to help them by having a clean pipe to take more illegal drugs that are coming across from the border, open borders, flooding our country, fueling our addictions, killing American citizens by the thousands, and yet FEMA is going to say, here you go, here's a clean pipe, clean smoking kits to get high on. Go knock yourself out. Go kill somebody. Right? I just don't get it. Now, the next what the F moment is they're negotiating with the cartels at the border. The U.S. government is negotiating with the cartels, the mafia, to control how many illegals they're going to allow in and have the flow controllable so that they're not overwhelmed and it doesn't look any bad through payments. That's right, folks. You heard it. You absolutely heard it. Our tax dollars going into this administration is now going to be paid in part to the cartel, which is already bringing in $34 billion in illegal drug trafficking, sex trafficking, human trafficking, and everything else. And the United States is negotiating with them to bring more in through our unsecured border. The hits just keep on coming. You can't say, how can these people be any dumber? But they surprise me each and every day. They really do. The way Peppermint Patty, Jen Psaki, can spin this, she's a freaking Houdini. How she could turn around and twist the truth upside down and out and try to make it look sensible and make you look like an idiot for questioning what you see with your own eyes. So now we have, which was foiled, I believe, initially $450,000 going to be paid to illegal immigrants because their illusionary family was separated from them through Rent-A-Kid. So our tax dollars was going to be paid to illegals, making them millionaires for being here illegally. Fortunately, a reporter with balls broke that story, so that was stopped. Now they're going to give crack pipes to underserved communities, which means black communities, Puerto Rican communities, whatever, poor communities, to keep them addicted to illegal drugs flowing from across the border, and we are going to pay the cartels more money to help control our border. How the hell does it, I don't know what's in my coffee, but I'm just like, what? Now, on the foreign policy, they're supplying troops to surrounding countries, and the countries that weren't wanting our troops on their soil are now saying, yeah, you better bring us some troops. Denmark, an ally, never allowed our American troops to be on their soil, but now they're saying, hey, I don't know what's going on with you guys, but we want some of your troops. We'll let you use our air base and build an air base so you can put more troops on our soil. Slovakia never wanted American troops on their soil. They still don't. Their population is saying, no, don't bring our troops in here. That's just going to incite more trouble with Russia. But they voted to do it, and we're going to send troops there. Poland as well. Finland. And everybody else in those countries, Norway, are saying, yeah, you can use our airspace. Yeah, you can use our bases. We're going to allow it because now we're afraid. France came out, Macron came out and spoke openly and saying, hey, you know why there isn't any allies stepping up and sending troops? Because we don't want to fight America's war with Russia. We don't know why you want a war with Russia, but don't drag us into it. He said that. Not in those exact same words, but he said it. He sees what's going on. The Democrats want a war with Russia as well as Republican hawks. And that is never a good thing when two nuclear powers decide they want to start shooting one another. somebody's going to say, I'm sick of it, press the button and take out, 1 million people plus. And it's going to be reciprocal, folks. We're not going to escape, we're America the Great. You can't harm us. Oh, yes, they can. Oh, yes, they can. And there's nothing that says China won't jump in as well. But I digress. This administration seems to say we're a great uniter, and yet he turns the DOJ loose on parents that want to protect their kids from hatred and being taught hatred because of your skin color. I thought Martin Luther King stood up for that and said, don't judge me by my skin color. But that's what they're teaching, and that's what's going along with it. Food prices going astronomical. A shipping crisis still untouched because the Secretary of Transportation is on maternity leave with his husband, and neither one of them had a baby. They adopted it, so there's no reason for any physical ailments or doing anything else. He should be on the job, but he isn't because he's incompetent. Becerra, who was put in place of Health and Human Services that had no prior experience with Health and Human Services, he's MIA on COVID. And now the calls for a cognitive test, thank goodness, are raising up through the Senate and the House, as well as some Democrats joining in on it. It's not because they don't believe Biden, he's missing some marbles out of the bag. It's because they see their poll numbers dropping to the bottom of the floor, and they don't want to be dragged underneath the carpet. So, Saturday morning, just another walk in the park and saying, how did we get into this? Because we were asleep at the wheel, people cheated, people lie, and they get away with it, nobody's challenging them. And now there's going to be a trucker convoy of freedom fighters coming across this country. And Joe Biden and this administration is already gearing up for them, calling in the National Guard and extra security because he doesn't want the Super Bowl and or his State of the Union speech interrupted. He's already alerted the National Guard. Mark my words, what's happening in Canada, and if they go into it with military, which they're already lining up, and physically harm these truckers, you're going to see it spark here in the United States. And it could easily start something across this United States we're not ready for, especially in a time of potential war with Russia. You guys better make sure you're stocked up plenty and topped off. Get ready. This could be very big coming if the truckers say we've had enough and we're fighting back. The economy could come crashing down very quickly. Get yourself right with God, get baptized. That's just a recap after 2 cups of coffee, and I'm already exhausted. Greg out.